Here's the second battle that I had with this team, and incidentally, it's my first run-in with any kind of weather. It's hail. I'm kind of glad that hail was the first weather that I ran into because it's kind of not as good, and I just wanted to prove to myself that, hey, I could deal with weather. And this guy actually had a very interesting hail team. I'll point out the fun stuff when we get there, and let's just dive right in. His name was TJ Works, and he's going to lead with a Abomasnow, of course, because he wanted to get his hail up as soon as possible. He noticed I didn't have a weather, and I'm going to go right for Hidden Power Fire. If he wants to dick around and go for Leech Seed, predicting a switch, or predicting me to Volt Switch or whatever, then I was going to nail him, but he went for Protect, so that kind of screwed me over a little bit. I don't get a free KO, of course, but it also gives me a free Volt Switch because he's not going to stick around for Hidden Power Fire. Even if he wanted to stay in, I'm going to be faster, and I can just go to Ferrothorn, and he can't really do anything unless he has Hidden Power Fire of his own, which I don't think he would have, but whatever. So I got a free switch into whatever I want, and I decided to go to Dragonite. I could have went to Terrakion as well because they both have Earthquake, but he's got 2 ground immunities in his Rotom and Gliscor, and I don't really want either of those things coming in if I'm going to be locked into it. I do want to go for Earthquake, though, just to keep the pressure up, tell him, like, hey, I want that Tentacruel gone because I want to get my rocks up, I don't want them to stay up. But in comes this Rotom Heat of his own. So I'm going to go to my Rotom-Wash because I'm kind of expecting an Overheat. I don't really know what to expect from this thing. It doesn't have lefties. And there we go. I found out that it's Specs. He tricks me as Specs. And honestly, this is probably the best guy to take as Specs. He's max special attack, max speed. So, I don't really care. It just means I'm going to hit a little bit harder. But I can't Will-O-Wisp stuff now. But, that's a small price to pay. He's still got 3 really powerful attacks that are going to be powered up even more now. Unfortunately, I missed my first Hydro Pump as this guy comes back in. That would have dealt a lot of damage, and it's a running theme in this series. I missed my first Hydro Pump in pretty much every single battle. So if somebody wants to keep track of that, then, go for it. He goes for Ice Shard, which I don't really understand. Maybe he was expecting Dragonite to come back in, expecting me to expect Grass, which is a very interesting prediction, but it just didn't work out for him. And I'm going to get a free Stealth Rock as he hits me with a useless Earthquake. It didn't really do that much. But I also really can't do a whole lot to him, so I'm not really sure what I'm expecting. I'm just going to go to Crobat so that I can hit him with Brave Bird, or threaten him with Brave Bird at least, or maybe get a Confuse Ray off, I don't know. But he switches out to Gliscor, which kind of is a strange switch into a Ferrothorn unless he's got some kind of SD set going on, but I can't confirm that right now, and this is looking like a stalemate. Crobat versus Gliscor, yeah, Poison Bats. The original Poison Bat versus the new Poison Bat, basically. He can't really hurt me unless he's got Ace Fang, which even that won't hurt really a lot. It might not even be a 2-hit KO, so I'm just free to go for Confuse Ray, hit whatever comes in, and it turns out to be a Jirachi. This thing could do a lot of stuff. It could be Subcom Mind, it could be Bulky, Wish Protect, Thunder Wave, so I'm just going to taunt it, see what he's going to do, and that'll give me the advantage switching in. Turns out I block a T-Wave, that's cool, so now I could go to Terrakion, but he's probably going to go for Iron Head. So I want to go to something that'll resist that, and that leaves me either Ferrothorn or Rotom-Wash. And I decided to go to Rotom-Wash because Rotom-Wash can actually deal some damage back in his face. It's going to give me a free Specs Hydro Pump on something, and I'm not really sure what wants to come in. It's a crit Iron Head. I'd rather him get a crit on a ×4 resistance than anything else, so that works for me. And he's got to pick who he wants to take a really powerful hit. And he decides to let his Kyurem-B take this hit, which I thought was kind of shocking, simply because, it's not going to get that many switch-ins with Stealth Rocks up, and, now it took a Specs Hydro, which did a ton of damage, by the way. But when I first saw Earth Power, I immediately thought, wow, what an idiot, I got Levitate, but then I remembered what Terravolt does, and I always forget about Terravolt, or, whatever the other ability is, and Mold Breaker, I just always forget about those, it really sucks. But I also recognize, hey, he used Earth Power. Is he some kind of Specs Kyurem-B? I think Kyurem-B outspeeds Rotom-Wash, so I don't know if he's Scarf or not right yet. But I'm definitely keeping that in mind. I went to Breloom to threaten him out with Mach Punch. I went for Sport instead. I'm pretty sure he's choiced onto the ground move, so that's what I went with. I'm pretty sure he's Scarf. Most Kyurem-Bs are Scarf. Gliscor, I kind of predicted Taunt. I don't know why, but I just wanted to get some damage on this thing because with Rotom-Wash down, I need Breloom to kill this thing. Breloom's my only guy who's even got a neutral hit to him that's 100% accurate. So Breloom is going to have to take one on the chin and take that thing out. or at least take it to a point where a close combat should be able to finish it off. But judging by that damage, it's incredibly defensive, and because I'm taunted, I can't Spore, I can't SD, so my options are either Bullet Seed, Mach Punch, or Switch. And I just went for Bullet Seed on the off chance he wanted to stay in. I hit this Rotom as it comes in. That's fine, it's not really gaining any hit points off of anything. And now an Overheat is predicted. Mach Punch wouldn't quite finish it off at that point, I don't think. And perfect use of my fodder right here, my quote-unquote fodder. Crobat just comes in, takes this hit, gets it to -2, and that's awesome. So now, Dragonite is very tempting to go to at the moment, because his Gliscor is almost down. This thing's -2, so even an HP Ice won't really be doing a whole lot, if it has it, that is. But I'm pretty sure he's going to switch, so I decide, you know what, Roosting is just the safer option, and gets me back up, and it lets me use my fodder again in case I have to take another Overheat. And then I can die and bring my Dragonite in right away, and that'd be cool. Tentacruel comes in, I know it's going to Rapid Spin, but there's nothing I can do about it. I can't one-shot it from here. I'm going to try. Like, that's my only chance at doing anything. But he's going to be able to live, get a spin off, and his Kyurem-B is saved. His Gliscor is saved. His Rotom-Heat is saved. So, that's Tentacruel doing its job perfectly. I can't even taunt it away because it does damage. So, that just sucked all around. Not only that, but, Hail failed to kill it, so he's going to be able to switch out and bring it back in, assuming I don't get my rocks back up. I had to go for another Brave Bird. I had to try and take it out, but just didn't quite work out. Jirachi came back in and takes next to no damage. So I would definitely want to taunt this thing again, but is he going to predict that and just go for Iron Head? Because if he does, then, there's a bunch of other stuff that I could be doing. And, I figured at the end of the day, I don't want anything getting T-Waved. I may as well just go for taunt. Even if I have to take an Iron Head, that's what this guy is for. He's meant to just take hits and die, so... I actually live Iron Head, so I don't know if he has that much offense investment, so I know it's probably especially defensive at this point. If it's got T-Wave and Iron Head, that doesn't really hurt. So I could Roost again. That would be the safe and good option as he brings back in Kyurem-B. But I decided, if he wants to switch out, I may as well go for Confuse Ray. Like, it's going to give me a 50% chance to find something else to do. And I hit this Kyurem-B, so I decide, I'm going to leave my Crobat in this turn. If he's faster than me, that means he's Scarf. If he's slower, then he's probably Specs or Banded just with Earth Power. He goes for Blizzard, so I'm just not really sure what he's got going on here, but I know at least he's Scarf, so I know exactly who can and can't deal with it at this point, so that was very, very helpful. Crobat did its job absolutely perfectly in this battle. So now I've got 4 guys left. I guess Rotom had to take a hit and die. I didn't actually expect it to take the hit, but whatever. Because his Tentacruel is so low, and because his Gliscor is so low, I felt safe going for close combat. His Jirachi couldn't take 2, so he couldn't go directly to that. I was going to get a free kill on something, and he decided Tentacruel was the best thing to fodder. Because Crobat's dead and not in, I can't taunt this thing, so T-Wave is coming, and I don't have a ground type, so I just go to a Ferrothorn. It's my slowest guy anyway. It doesn't really mind taking a T-Wave, and it can fire one back of its own, so that's cool. Plus I could set up rocks and just really limit his options, because that's what you do. And he decides to Stealth Rock himself, so that breaks my Dragonite's multi-scale, and that really, really sucks in case I needed it to take a hit from Kyurem-B, because now I can't. Like, that's just that simple. So now this turn I'm going to go for a T-Wave just in case he wants to switch. I'll cripple whatever wants to come in, unless it's Gliscor. And if he wants to stay in with Jirachi, then, that'll really hinder it. He sets up a Wish, and crap. Whatever he wants to bring in, it's going to die to a Power Whip, I think. Kyurem-B is going to take rocks, it's not going to have a lot left. Gliscor already doesn't have a lot left. And his Rotom-Heat doesn't have a lot left, and it has to take rocks. And, I just think I'll be able to kill it. So I'm going to go for Power Whip. He goes to Rotom-Heat, and, it takes a lot of damage, and I get Parax. I have no idea if I would have killed it. It's resisted. It's got very good defense, but, I also would have had Hail going for me, because Hail goes before Wish, but, that's just the way it works. And, I got hacks, and at least he went to this thing. If he went to Gliscor, I would have been super duper pissed. But, at least this way, I can get him to -2 and then be fine. However, he decides to predict a switch, when I was just leaving my Ferrothorn in here as fodder, because I just want him at -2. So I got a free T-Wave off on him. That's absolutely fine by me. So now when he kills me this turn, he'll be -2, he'll be paralyzed, and I get a free go into Dragonite. Dragonite is going to be able to hit anything he wants with a D-Claw, and it's going to kill anything except his Abomasnow. So he really has no other option but to go to that. And that is a good option, but if I force him into that, then I'm forcing him to go for Ice Shard. And I'm going to be able to go to pretty much whatever I want to take that. So I go to Dragonite. I could DD, but, you know, Ice Shard's going to go faster anyway, so, you know, it's really just not worth it. I may as well just get damage on whatever I want, on whatever comes in. If he decides not to go to this thing, it's going to die anyway, so his hand was really forced. And now it's low enough to where another Declaw would kill it if I get Dragonite in here again. And I'm really feeling good. It hasn't got a lot left. It's going to have to take more rocks if it comes in again, so, you know, etc. I'm doing just fine. I go to Terrakion here. If you wanted to predict that and go for Woodhammer, then, you know, play of the game, I'd applaud that, but he didn't. He just went for the kill, which is the safer play, but it's not necessarily the right play when he's playing behind the 8-ball. And now, I'm just going to close combat. I've got really nothing else to do. Gliscor, it's not going to be able to take rocks and 2 close combats and hail damage, so even his poison heal isn't really going to help him that much. And, yeah, I'm sitting in here real pretty. He tries Gliscor, like that's his only real chance, because Kyurem's not going to take it, Jirachi's not going to take it, and, you know, his Jirachi's paralyzed regardless, so even if it does take it, it has to not get hacks the next turn. And down goes Gliscor, which was the main concern for me after Rotom-Wash went down, so... he's going to try Kyurem-B. I guess he's hoping that I'm banded, because he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know that I'm absolutely scarfed, but now he does. Now he recognizes that I am choice scarfed. I'm faster than him, and he's out of here. So his real only option right now is to go to Jirachi, and you know, he has to hope he takes a hit and takes me with an Iron Head. I'm just going to stay in because, you know, he has to kill me. He can't dick around wishing and protecting, even if he has protect. So... close combat does a little bit more than I thought it would, so that's real good, and he gets Parahacks. Even if he didn't, I just go to Jirachi, I go to Breloom, take it out with Mach Punch, and he's still just got absolutely nothing going on. He's got his Rotom Heat still, but that's not really going to do a whole lot. So I take out Jirachi, and I'm absolutely in range of an Ice Shard at this point with all these defense drops and all this crap going on, so it's really just the perfect time to sack Dragonite, because... you know, it's kind of useless at this point. His Kyurem is dead, so I don't really need it, and my multi-skill's broken anyway. So even if I needed it to take a hit, I wouldn't be able to. So, you know, it's just the perfect thing to die at this point. And then I get my free switch into Breloom. I could probably Spore, maybe if I could live in Ice Shard. That is, I don't know if I'd be able to live in Ice Shard, but. You know, I'm just going to go for a faster Mach Punch, take it out, and all he's got left is a paralyzed Rotom Heat, which it can deal with Breloom, and it can deal with Terrakion, but it can't deal with both, so this game is just absolutely in the bag at this point, and, you know, he's actually going to wind up getting Parahacks. Did not matter in the slightest. If he went for Overheat, then I just go to Terrakion next turn and take it out with close combat, so really, really good game, dude. He doesn't get Parahacks, he misses, I apologize. Really, really good game, dude. A ton of fun, lots of predictions all over the place, and yeah, it was an A+ performance from everybody involved. So, the games definitely do get better from here on out, like I said. You know, I've got some really, really good games, but those will come towards the end, so be sure to stick around for all those wicked games, and I'll see you next time.